So this is question 5 from your practice test. So yet again, ignore where this says question 11. The standard that this question is covering is your ability to determine an author's point of view or purpose in a text and analyze how the author acknowledges and responds to conflicting evidence or viewpoints, which is the exact same standard that question number 4 has covered. So your question is, how does the author of passage 2 lead the reader to think negatively about corn ethanol production? So let's go back and look at this question. First and foremost, it's talking about passage 2, no longer talking about passage 1. So if we look at our readings here, passage 2. And it also asks how this passage leads the reader to think negatively. So how does this author make you, as the reader, think negatively about corn ethanol? So our answer options: A, by listing the guidelines for government-approved alternative fuels. B, by focusing on how the use of corn ethanol affects individual consumers. C, by implying that government support for corn ethanol is politically motivated. Or D, by providing data about the environmentally unfriendly aspects of ethanol production. Okay, well, first thing I want to look at is that 2 of these options, A and C, mention the government. Let's look back at the passage. The very start of this passage says that the United States is providing funds for the development and use of alternative fuels that will, and lists these 3 guidelines here. This is the first part that talks about the government. So let's look back here. So A, by listing the guidelines for government-approved alternative fuels. This is incorrect. The author starts with this list that I just showed you, but this list in itself does not imply that alternative fuel production is negative. Okay? We're looking for negative. That is not our answer. B, you may select this because individual concerns can affect a reader's conclusion. However, this is not the focus of the author. C, our other option that refers to the government. There's nothing that suggests it's politically motivated or that it is being used to make conclusions about corn ethanol. So even though it's listing the government approval, it never states that it is politically motivated. Which leaves us with D. The author provides data to strengthen the argument. So let's look back and see here. Once we state the government standards, our author then jumps in to say the problem with corn ethanol is that it takes about the same amount of fossil fuels to produce an equal amount of ethanol. This leaves us with no net gain in the reduction of carbon emissions or our use of fossil fuels. She then continues with there are more problems, and the rest of this article states the negative. So she provides data to strengthen the argument, making D our correct answer.